And welcome aboard. It is love, Love, and the very best kind, everybody. Princess Love. Princess Love. I hope you all had that wonderful day last week. It was a week ago already. I can't believe it. Yet, the one that everybody celebrates Valentine's Day, but not here at Princess. We celebrate not one day, not 1 month, but all year round. Super excited to share that. Hi, everybody. Carmen Roig, VP of Sales for Princess Cruises in North America. Happy to share that this is the first web, it's been a while, where we've opened it up on the VP Sales Facebook page to bring back by popular demand. Because if I got one more email, one more text, one more carrier pigeon, so many of our wonderful, valued guests who have been amazing loyalists, wanted to continue to do or have the ability to see some of our updates in the webinar. So we talked to our valued travel partners. Yes, all of you having an amazing year, and we thank you for that support. And so we've gone to like a split kind of Connect with Princess setup, where we'll do one webinar in the month for our travel partners, valued travel partners, and then of course we'll do one for our amazing uh, great guests. So, as always, yes, we are recording this, which is wonderful. By the way, I am home today. I'm not in our beautiful Fort Lauderdale studio. I got back from Discovery Princess, had an amazing experience with some of our travel partners last week. So it's wonderful, and so I'm just playing catch up. So just so you know, we are recording it. You all know at the webinar. Please stick around because we like to get your Q and A's. Really important, and I want to again welcome all of our loyal guests. Thank you for joining us again, and our travel advisors. Without you, we couldn't get this done. Yes, yes, yes. All of your frequently asked questions will be at the end. So I think that's really critical. And then moving right along, no, I think he's ahead of his game. Joe. It's always technical. Sun Princess. We are beyond elated, excited to welcome her to the fleet. So if you're following the Facebook page, not just the Princess one, but my own VP Sales Facebook page, we have been putting some of the amazing videos on there for the ship. And yes, the inaugural voyage, February 28th. So that's next week. Super excited to welcome Sun into our incredible family. And obviously, we all know Star will be the following year, but she is going to be a game changer, folks. We have so many of our incredible teammates, colleagues that are on board. That onboard family has been working round the clock to make sure this ship is ready to go. You only get one shot at a first impression, right? So we wanted to make sure the ship was perfect. And she is. So, all you lucky folks, Feb 28th, next week, is the new original inaugural. So, very excited about that. And I'm just going to give you a sneak peek of a video. Go for it, Joe. Wow. Those are not renderings, folks. That's the real deal. That is the gorgeous Sun Princess in Italy. And Marsha, welcome.
Hi, Carmen. Hey, everybody. I love that video.
How exciting is that, right? To
I
actually
can't wait.
see, again, not renderings. We've been dealing with renderings like since I got here almost 2 years ago. And to actually see
Yeah.
those are all the video spots that our PR, amazing PR team has been. Thank you so much. Beautiful is an understatement. I've been told it's a Sphere class ship. You got to see the dome. This is going to be a game changer, not just for the Princess brand, but I really think in the industry, she is gorgeous. Thank you, Kellyanne. Wonderful. So happy that you've booked your clients. This is really exciting. How do you feel it about this, Marcia?
I don't know. I can't get any more excited than I already am. I can't wait to step on her and see her. I can't wait to see everybody's pictures. I just can't wait.
There's been a lot, right? So I've been seeing a lot of folks, and it's not even professional grade stuff. It's just like our
Yeah.
incredible onboard family posting some videos and, hi there, Amy. Oh, so glad. I'm glad, Amy, you had a great time. She was with me on Discovery Princess last week. Boy, did I
Perfect.
eat a lot. Boy, did I drink a lot. Oh boy, did I have a good time. We had a great time. I'm paying the consequences this week because I'm back on track, right? But yeah, Sun
Yeah,
Princess will really be a game changer. We're very excited. We're humbled. We're proud. It's just exciting. It has been an exciting year thus far. I can't believe February's coming to an end, but it has been. We're having an amazing year. So I know it's been a while since we've had our incredible, loyalists on these webinars. But let me tell you, I want to thank them and I want to thank our travel partners because this year is beyond belief exciting, and 25 is shaping up to be even bigger and better. So today on Connect with Princess, we've had a few webinars our travel partners have been on. So we've been doing a lot of, vast, in depth Alaska training. So we wanted to make sure we did, you know, December, we won that award yet again, right?
I
Number one
know.
in Alaska. And it's important. And everybody says, listen, it's not about winning the awards, right? Awards are great. I'm
Oh,
humbled and blessed. This is a third party endorsement. So I tell this to our guests all the time, and I tell it to our travel partners because number one cruise line in Alaska, there's a reason why more guests choose the Princess brand in Alaska than any other cruise line. I even share that we carry more children in Alaska than any other cruise line because we have
yeah,
in depth, immersive experiences. And we did an entire webinar because we've been having some promotions with third and fourth free. So we
yeah.
talked about, and I learned so much. Boy,
About
did
our
I learn
kids'
a lot
programs
more.
and all the
Yes,
great things they can do, not only
these
in
are just
Alaska, but on all of our ships. Yeah,
all of our ships and why the
yeah,
medallion is so important from and I talked about, okay, I'm aging myself, my Radio Shack walkie talkies when my kids were growing up versus having this access that we have
yeah.
that's amazing technology, but experiences for children and families, multi-gen. This is huge. So if you're sitting out there with a multi-gen family that wants to do Alaska, the only way you do it is with the very best of the best. And to think that we won this 20 times overall with Travel Weekly Readers'
Yes,
Choice Awards, it truly was. Again, keep saying humbling because I don't know how else to say it. I was
I
so
know.
moved and emotional about it because it's proof is in the pudding. These are third
You know,
party endorsement. This isn't
yeah.
Princess saying, right? Because we own
No,
our
and
lodges.
we don't take it for granted. Like every
Oh,
year we're
absolutely
kind of
not.
biting our nails and but every year the team behind the scenes, like our guest today, is really working hard to make sure that our offerings are new and fresh and exciting and that you could go on us multiple times. Like you said, Kerman, like this is not a one and done type trip. You go on us multiple times and have a different experience every single time. So
And
we
for a
really
long
work
time,
hard.
you're right. Perception of Alaska. It's a one time. We don't do bucket lists here. We
No.
do life lists, and I can tell you, Alaska is a life list time and time again. You can go back again and again and still have so much more to explore. So I'm so happy that we have Mary with us today. She's our director of Alaska planning and marketing. Right. So pretty exciting, Mary. Welcome. Thank you
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us.
Hi,
Yes,
Mary.
thank
So
you so much.
so excited. Timing is perfect for Alaska right now, right? Because we're going to start the season very very quickly. It's right
Mhm.
upon us. So I'm gonna jump in a lot. I promise I won't be as disruptive as I normally am because I've been put on a very short leash this time by Marsha and Joe. So I'm gonna try to behave. But I always have a million and one questions. So I'll be really quick. I guess I want to hear a little bit about you. Like how long have you been with the Princess brand?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been with the Princess brand a little over a year now. But to harken back to your earlier point, Alaska is such a lifelong bucket list that I actually made the decision to move to Alaska. So I'm located right here in Juneau.
Wow.
Wow.
Talk
Okay,
about
I'm
an
in
expert.
shock. And so that's fine. Yeah, greetings from a wet Juneau. Okay, how cold is it there today? And have you had any sunshine?
We have not had any sunshine, but it's raining, which is better than snow. So it is currently 37 degrees here.
Okay, that is a huge
Wow.
commitment. Okay, 37 is nothing. It's almost 50 here in Miami over the weekend. Come on, we're almost even. And we got rain too. So listen, but no, I'm still not going to move there. That is a huge commitment, Mary. Where were you before, curiously? Where did you live before Juneau?
I was actually in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area.
Not too different from Juneau, just
Very
saying.
Yeah.
different. Yep. Yeah,
I
my
love it.
husband and I love fishing, and so we used to come up to Petersburg, Alaska during the summer. So that's what kind of scratched the itch at that point in time before moving here full time.
Talk about immersing yourself. Wow. And those are your real shots. You took those pictures from your experiences.
Yes.
That is
Look at you on
Yeah.
the
blows me
glacier.
away.
That is a beautiful picture.
Wow.
Yeah, so if anyone's
Divine.
familiar with the Mendenhall Glacier, during the winter when the lake freezes here, a lot of folks will kind of walk across the lake and we're able to touch the glacier, assuming that the lake is frozen, very well frozen.
We Joe would make sure it wasn't frozen for me, and then he said, "Oh, it's technical. Carmen just went out there. Sorry, we lost her." That is amazing. I hope you have a spare room. Who knows? You might like kind of reel me in. Pardon the pun. So, so why this was so important for today's webinar, having you on and sharing not just your passion but your expertise, subject matter expertise, but more importantly, because I get this time and time again. I get it when I do our consumer shows,
Mhm.
because there's a lot of folks out there that think others visit Alaska, they don't own Alaska like we do, right? We immerse ourselves culturally, we immerse ourselves in the destination, in the
Mhm.
communities that we visit, but in every aspect of the experience. So I keep getting this because I keep saying we're number one in Alaska. Well, why? Why Princess in Alaska and why Alaska? So this is where I hand it over to you as the expert to paint the picture and really the story of why
Yeah.
we are so unique and why we really are the only choice if you want a proper Alaska experience.
I love it. That was such a beautiful handoff, Carmen. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about why Alaska, just as a general destination, right? So obviously, a lot of you know we have glaciers, mountains, and wildlife. But what Carmen was really hitting on is, but why Princess in Alaska? And spoiler alert, our cruises and our cruise tours are designed to showcase the best of what Alaska has to offer. So we go to places such as Glacier Bay National Park, Denali National Park. We also have the Alaska Railroad that we work with to make sure that we're showing you the best of what this destination has to offer. So, a few ways that you can visit Alaska with us is obviously through our cruises. We have the round trip cruises through the Inside Passage. We also offer what we call Voyage of the Glaciers. So this cruise goes from the lower 48 all the way up through kind of the armpit of Alaska if you're looking at the map, and you can get to Anchorage. So we disembark or embark in Whittier. And then third, we also offer what we call cruise tours. So this is a combination of what we sell in terms of cruises as well as a land experience. So, what exactly is a cruise tour? So, most of you are probably really familiar with what a cruise is, but a cruise tour combines, as I mentioned, kind of those three elements. So, you have the Voyage of the Glaciers cruise, which is a 7 day cruise, where you can obviously see Glacier Bay National Park. There's also an element of the train itself as well. And then we also will have you stay at our lodges on land. To kind of back up, though, for the 7 day voyage of the glaciers, you do get to see a total of two different glaciers. So you'll see Glacier Bay National Park, but then you'll also get to see um, one of two other cruises, which would be the Hubbard Glacier or the College Fjord. So these are both beautiful glaciers. Hubbard is known for being really expansive and immersive. It's just awe-inspiring. It's very visually stimulating as well. So we'll kind of continue on here, but we can circle back to some of the glaciers and the highlights that we offer on our 7 day voyage of the glaciers cruise. The other part that we talk about is our train. So our train helps move our folks not only from the ship all the way into the heart of Alaska. This train is absolutely gorgeous. On it, you'll be sitting on in a dome car with
Wow.
these beautiful glass windows that you can see all of Alaska as you travel throughout. On the bottom of the car itself, there's a dining hall. And so throughout your travels, you can go down to the dining car, have a meal, experience some Alaskan dishes such as like reindeer sausage and other things that our awesome food and beverage team puts together specifically for our guests to make sure that they are really tasting Alaska and everything that we have to offer up here.
Breathtaking. Dare
Isn't
I
it
say that's like the
gorgeous?
test that's like a Tesla in Alaska, right? I mean, you get that
Yeah.
gorgeous dome. I just had to say that because it's gorgeous, spectacular, and love the
Yes.
FMB. And again, same day ship to Denali. I
Mhm.
mean,
Amen.
That's
There, there's a
priceless.
good, there's a question. Rachel of shared memories. How long are the train and bus rides between port and lodges?
Oh, such a good question. So they will vary just based on which cruise tour you're on. So if we think about what Carmen just mentioned, which is the direct to the wilderness, so you go from ship to the lodge in one day, it can take between 8 to 10 hours, give or take. And if some of it just depends on which cruise tour you're on. So if there's something specific, more than happy to take a look at exactly what the time it is, or the duration, and get back to you on that.
Great, thank you. And
And
thanks,
there,
Donna. Donna says this is the one she booked her clients on just yesterday.
oh, awesome,
Amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So another cool part about our train is that there are open air platforms in between the actual cars themselves. So if you have a client or you like to kind of get up and walk around or just get some fresh air, you can go out to the open air platforms, and it's a wonderful experience just to feel the breeze on your face as you go through the land in Alaska.
Amazing.
Yes, absolutely. So the last part of the cruise tour, the third piece of it, or the way we talk about it, is our lodges. So we actually have 5 different lodges. The main one that a lot of folks know about is Denali, our Denali Princess Lodge. We also stay at Mount McKinley, which has a gorgeous view of Denali, the mountain, from the back, especially on a nice day. We have Copper River, which is one of our smaller lodges, but it's all and like compact, and so you get to experience a lot at Copper. Kenai, which always rates really well with our guests. Each guest has their individual fireplace. There's also a porch in each room, or on the back of each room, I should say. And then at Fairbanks, you're right alongside the Chena River, which is also just breathtaking. You're really immersed in these key destinations around Alaska. And I think one element that Princess really nails is that we own these assets. And so that's a little bit different than our competitors. So
Mhm.
because we own the assets, we're able to deliver a more seamless experience because we're able to be with your guests every segment of the trip.
And
Whereas some
on
of our
brand.
competitors, yeah, exactly. And so some of our competitors, they offer they outsource some of their parts of their trip. So
That
Yeah.
means you lose
so
control of the DNA and essence of the brand. But I got to jump in here, Mary, because I want to thank you because
please,
I know back in
please.
December we did an
Uh,
in-depth series with
I
the
was going to say the
lodges.
same
Remember that?
thing. Yeah.
Woo! Because boy, did I learn a lot. It was amazing. I want to think Joe did post some of those,
You
but
did.
because this is the okay, because I know our travel advisors, our partners got to see it, and I got such great commentary from them, right? Because each webinar was in depth to each of the lodges. So
Yep.
let me tell you, not only from the actual lodges, the breathtaking views of where they're located, but the
mhm,
FMB, what to expect. So we went inside the lodges, we showed accommodations. I mean, we
Mhm.
brought this to life like nobody's business, and it was very, very detailed. And after that series, so I want to thank you and your team for having done that because, we even had the general managers on, like I'm
mhm.
right here, and this is what we do off season, and we have people on site, and we're shoveling the snow, and we're making sure everything is
Yeah.
you know, wa- running water. And I'm thinking to myself, I couldn't even imagine, right? That kind of commitment, when you own
Yeah.
it, there's a different DNA that goes into it because you can
Mhm.
control it. And I said, Marsha, this will sound familiar. If I don't own it, I can't control it. And the
Yep.
fact that we own it, we control it, it stays on brand and allows us to really deliver, execute a seamless experience. But again, there is no difference between that standard when you're on board to when you are in our lodges and every aspect of this experience. I tell this to our travel partners and I'll say it to our very loyalists as well.
Mhm.
Going to Alaska just on a cruise, and it's great. If that's all the time you have to go on a cruise, okay, let's just make sure you make time in the future to
Yeah.
extend because let me put it to you this way. It would be like going to, are we ready for this? It's like going to Orlando in Florida, that's all I'm going to say,
Hmm.
but you miss Disney. Or you go to
Yeah.
Disney and you miss
Mm,
Orlando, or you come to
yes.
Miami
Right.
Beach and you don't go to South Beach or Everglades National Park. Yeah, you've done a
Right.
part of the city, but you haven't immersed yourself in culture and you haven't done it all.
Right.
It's like you're getting like
Right.
a little snippet. That's why cruise tours are it makes for such an amazing experience. Yes, we know there's air components involved, and I promise this is the last thing I'm going to say on this. It's just that I'm looking at my own personal family vacation with my kids and a group. We, as you all know, we went on 18 of us on Caribbean Princess for the holidays, and so I'm looking at Alaska. Not this year. We're looking at 26. That's how far in advance we got to start looking,
Wow.
right? To
Yeah,
make sure
yeah,
that all of the and to get everybody together. It's well worth it. Why?
it is.
Because I can take that airfare, I can amortize that. Forget the 7-day cruise or a 10-day cruise. I can amortize it and really do this immersive experience. It'll be a once in a lifetime experience for us. Well, for the kids, because I'm not paying for them after that. They can pay their own way. But for this time, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so it was just an amazing series. I want to thank you. And I think we might have an opportunity to again re up that in the future for our guests to see as well, just in case they missed it. We got to call it out. Okay, back to you.
Okay, I can't. I got one more question, which is a good one, and I'm not sure if we cover it later. And I cut off her name, so I can't give her credit.
Mm,
But the question is there an option to visit all 5 lodges?
great question.
Yeah.
There is. And it's called, I think it's Tour V, but I'll double check. It goes to all 5 of them. So we absolutely
Yeah,
do all.
it's called our Ultimate Cruise Tour, and I believe it's a 17 night,
Yes.
including the
Wow.
cruise.
Yeah.
Yes. So that
That's
is
awesome.
absolutely an option.
I'm
One I
writing
would
that
highly
down.
recommend. Each of these
17
lodges,
nights.
they have their own DNA and their own feel to them. Obviously, they fall underneath the Princess brand, so you can understand what the level of service is and will be. But each of the lodges, they have their own unique feel to them. So it really is important to experience as many of the lodges as you can.
Oh, okay. I hope I said that merrily. I've stayed at Mount McKinley and loved it. We saw Denali in her glory, and boy, is she glorious, is right. Absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous. Fantastic. Now I love this because of the variety. So many folks, gotta tell you, everybody I know thinks, oh, Alaska's where you go when you're retired and you want to have like a hot toddy, a little hot cocoa, and you're not gonna do anything.
No.
Are you kidding? I was exhausted. That's why I think I need the lodges because seriously, I never stopped. It was so exciting. It really was. So this is a great opportunity to really talk about the variety of amenities and dining. I mean, you blew me away with the F&B and the entertainment and exhibits and everything that we offer. It's pretty immersive.
Very immersive. And as you can see here on the screen, there's a couple of photos that we pulled together. I think the challenge is, right, photos, it's hard to do the lodges justice when we only have photos here. But hopefully it gives you a sense of your experience or your possible client's experience. Some of the rooms, like the photo on the bottom left, this is a room at Kenai Princess. And so as you can see, there's a fireplace there. The photo to the right, this is overlooking the Kenai River. Another gorgeous view. At Kenai, you're definitely in the center of a lot of mountains, and so you really get that Alaska kind of look, tone, and feel, and everything that people crave about Alaska. And I'll just keep continuing on with the photos on the bottom. So on the right hand side, bottom photo, you have Fanny Q Saloon. This is a very, very immersive feel to a restaurant. It's the story behind Fanny Q, who is a pioneer woman. And the entire inside of this restaurant is just incredible. The artwork, everything that helps bring the story to life is right on point. At the top here in the center, we have an airplane, and this is actually featured at our McKinley Lodge. It's another part of our Alaska adventures and how we immerse our guests into Alaska. So there are about 1,000 different photos we could show you, but here are just some highlights.
And Mary Shelley would like to know,
Yep.
are all meals included on the land portion?
So meals are not included. We do offer a meal plan, and then those meals would obviously be included, but they're not included, not like the ship, unfortunately, right now.
Yeah. We highly suggest purchasing the meal plan. So that is absolutely something you can do.
Yeah.
And
I
it
would as
includes
well.
all the lovely restaurants. Yes.
Okay,
Awesome.
what's new? I love
So
that. Did you
what's
take that
new?
shot too? No.
No, I didn't. I wish I
Oh,
did,
that's impressive.
but I did not.
Woo.
So what's new for 2024 and 25? we have the national parks cruise tour. So what we hear a lot from our guests is they love the national parks. But in Alaska, as you can imagine, everything is so spread out. There's just a lot of miles in between different locations, kind of harken back to the first question that was asked today. So what we did was we pulled together what we thought was the best itinerary to help guests go and see each national park. And so what I'll do is kind of show you the layout here. If you see the
Wow.
copy that's in pink, these are the national parks that you will get to experience on this cruise.
Wow.
I should say cruise tour, because obviously you'll
Mhm.
see Glacier Bay National Park, the Klondike Gold Rush National Park when you're on your cruise. And then you'll also stay at Kenai or Kenai Lodge. And at that time, you'll be able to see the Kenai Fjords National Park, obviously Denali, and then Wrangell St. Alliance National Park as well.
Yeah, so this is totally for our national park enthusiasts, right? And we have people who just love to check those off their list. And this would, I mean, what, you visiting 5 in
Yep.
one trip? That's
And 4
amazing.
lodges, and 4 of our
Yeah,
lodges. That's
yeah.
Mhm.
impressive. Wow.
Very much so. So here's just a photo of Glacier Bay National Park. And then this one, just to remind you, our national park tour does go into Denali. And then there are wildlife that a lot of people look for. Want to make sure that you try to look for the big five. So just if you've been on an African safari, you may have heard of the big five, but in Alaska, we have the same big five framework, I should say, not the actual same 5 animals, but yeah, the same kind of framework. And so moose, bear, wolves, rams, and then caribou as well. And then the Kenai Fjords National Park. This is a what we call like a day cruise that folks will go on. You'll see orcas. The beautiful rock pillars
Look
are
at that.
a
It's
key
beautiful.
highlight. Yeah,
Mhm.
It's
yeah, yeah.
amazing. You know, Mary, I was going to
And
say lions and tigers and bears, but I only had bears in there. So, ta-da, ta-da.
Bears and
womp
bears and
womp.
bears.
Bears, all good. And caribou, gorgeous,
And then
breathtaking.
you'll be able to visit the Kennecott Mine as well, which is outside of Wrangell St. Alliance. And then the Klondike Gold Rush National Park, which is in Skagway as
Oh,
well.
stop. That's gorgeous. Look at that. It's like look at the scenery. Wow. And
Oh,
again, a lot of folks, history buffs, that's what they think about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, like Klondike,
Is
mhm.
that
gold
White
rush
Pass,
days, right?
Mary?
It
Is
is
that
Correct.
White
named White Pass?
Pass.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Have you been on White Pass, Marcia?
I have. I have.
Uh,
I have as well, by the
Yes.
way.
oh,
But I
really?
didn't do it on, yeah, thank you very much.
Nice.
But it was way too long ago.
Yeah, I need to do
Yeah, it
it
sounds like you
again.
need to come up again.
I do.
All right. So then this final cruise tour that we will talk about today is Katmai. So this one is our big new product for 2024. There is limited availability on this one. So I just want to make sure we highlight that. We're getting closer to the season. We're seeing this book up really fast. So while we want to highlight it today, just know that it is really focused for this year. So I think we had a video that we'd love to share with you. Joe, is that possible?
That's amazing. I think is this your brainchild, Mary?
It is.
Yeah.
So
Near
Katmai
and dear to
National
your
Park.
heart.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So this photo that you're seeing on the screen now with the 2 bears, this is Brooks Falls, and it's one of those iconic shots that if you talk about Alaska, most people have heard of Katmai or they know about Brooks Falls. But if you're a wildlife enthusiast or you just want to see brown bears, these guys and gals feast really heavily on the sockeye salmon runs that come through. So we wanted to make sure that this experience was open to our guests. We want to give you guys everything that we as Alaskans really love. And so this will be added on to the 7-day Voyage of the Glaciers cruise. Then you'll overnight in the Anchorage area for 2 nights to make sure that you can go and see Katmai.
Yeah, talk about off the beaten path and a unique
Beautiful.
experience, right?
Oh yeah,
We've got a couple of good questions. Someone asked,
please.
are cruise tours good for kids, or do you think it's too much for them?
No. So from my point of view, cruise tours to me enable a couple of different things you may not have just on sea, which is you get to see different wildlife. So if you're just going on a cruise itself, you'll see a lot of wildlife, but you most likely won't see too many moose because in Southeast, while we have moose, typically they're not really seen here.
Hmm.
You will have a more better opportunity of seeing massive brown bears that more the interior um, is known for versus in Southeast. Southeast, we have a lot of black bears. We do have some brown bears, but the the grizzly bears are typically known to being more in the interior. I think kids really enjoy the train, which is another element that just adds the excitement when you're on land. And then there's just more time to be with your family and your friends. So cruises, obviously, there's a lot going on, a lot of stimulation. But we're also, also when you're on land, it gives you a little bit more time to have some downtime with your family. That's something that I think is key for folks to know and to understand. The other piece to me is that we do some programming through our North to Alaska program on land as well that we're trying to stand up for this upcoming season. So there should be different activities that would be stimulating to a kid, such as understanding what the tundra is like, understanding different wildlife, things like that. So I'd absolutely say cruise tours are awesome for kids. I'm a little bit biased though, so I'll
Yeah,
ask and Carmen as well.
I'm gonna layer in you got to have s'mores by the fire, right? Right,
Yes.
and hot cocoa and our treehouse, right?
Yeah.
So there's so many different like exciting elements for kids. So I agree with you, Mary.
Yeah. Give them more sugar there.
Flights to and from, right? The national park included as well.
Hmm.
Okay,
Correct.
beautiful.
Oh, one more question. This is specific to Katmai. Yeah, is
Yep.
Katmai the only with northbound voyages? What month is it available?
So it's available June, July, and August. It is currently northbound and southbound. We are offering, let me see if I can flip to this next slide, the Ultimate Alaska Wildlife Adventure Cruise Tour, which
Hmm.
also goes to Katmai. This one goes to Katmai and Denali. This one
Oh,
is only
wow.
offered, well, I'm sorry, what was that?
I just said
She said,
wow.
wow,
Oh,
I
okay,
missed
sorry.
this one.
surprise and delight. This is amazing. It's 13 nights.
Again,
Wow.
learning something new.
Yeah, absolutely. So we haven't done a hard launch of this one, Carmen and Marsha. That's probably why you haven't heard about it too much. But essentially, it's combining the best of the wildlife experiences that we can provide our guests right now. So
Wow.
we really think getting folks into Denali is kind of a key, as well as obviously Katmai as well. So that's where this one it was born from. So thank you for asking that question. You prompted my slides to go forward.
Perfect.
This is fabulous. And 13-night cruise tour featuring, my goodness, this is spectacular, right? Uh, and three of the lodges. Did I read this right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow,
I've seen
Yes.
lots of comments about more
this is
opportunity to see
great.
bears. So this sounds like this is a day of bears at
Yep.
Brooks Falls as well.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
And just so everyone on the phone knows, as part of these two cruise tours, so the Katmai as well as the Ultimate Alaska Wildlife, we do offer a side trip to. It's actually part of the cruise tour itself, I should say, to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. So it's important as Alaskans to take care of wildlife, and so this is
Hmm.
exactly what this center does. We also want to make sure our guests get to see other wildlife too. So things such as muskox or maybe a caribou as well, depending on the animals that are there in the center. We want to make sure that everyone has that chance to really understand what the wildlife what they go through, what is needed if one's injured, that kind of a thing. So we include this as part of our programming, so that folks can
Amazing.
obviously see other animals they may not see along the way. Cool.
That is amazing. What time of is this June, July, August also?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And the
Because
peak
I'm going in
season of the
May.
Alaska season.
I'm going in May. Probably
Yeah.
first voyage. So I guess I won't be doing that. I'll be freezing.
Oh man. All right, and this is just a map to show you where you'd be going. And so you may be asking, like, okay, so who's keen on Katmai? Who does this, cruise tour resonate with? I think I mentioned earlier, like wildlife enthusiasts, obviously national park enthusiasts as well. And the Katmai National Park is a national park. So we want to make sure we call that out as well. We also think that photographers would like this. I personally love photography. I believe a lot of other folks do as well. And as you can see, this person with their camera phone does too. So photographers as well. And then I think repeat guests. So folks who've been to Alaska, maybe they've gone to Alaska like 6 times on a cruise or something. We feel like Katmai is a very unique and special experience. And so we do recommend that folks who've been to Alaska check this one out as well. And then
So
just
we
to
had a
highlight a couple,
question.
yeah,
We had a
of course.
question. I know you're talking about 2024. This is all about 24. Will these be available in 25 as well, or do we know that yet?
We don't know that yet. We are keeping our
Okay.
fingers crossed, but as of
Okay.
right now, it's 2024 only.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a feeling these will be sold out.
Yes.
And gonna get scores, and we'll see. Let me see my crystal ball. More Katmai in our future. I love it.
I like that. So one other thing I
Wow.
wanted to highlight today, just like you have shore or shore excursions while you're on your cruise, when you're on land, we have that same type of activity base. So you think of, we call it land X, so land excursions, but guests get to really immerse themselves in fly fishing or flight seeing, ATV riding, whitewater rafting. So there's a lot of activities that we typically don't talk about when we're talking about the lodges, because we're really concerned and want to make sure everyone knows where they're going. But the things that people get to do with Princess while they're in Alaska, these are things that some Alaskans only dream of being able to do. So just know that we are trying to offer, and we do offer, the best of what Alaska has to offer for our guests, and to be able to tangibly give people those experiences. So make sure you check out the land excursions
Wow.
as well.
Look, is that sledding? Could I sled?
With the sled dogs, yes.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh, gorgeous. That's amazing. Truly
We-
lifeless, right? That's incredible.
yeah, absolutely. And so I think this other slide right here is really good for when you're talking with somebody. How do you know if you should go on a cruise tour? I think somebody asked earlier, obviously, if there's, a cruise tour is good for kids. I think there's some practical questions you can just think through or help your clients think through, which way do we want to go directionally, physically directionally, right? Do we want to go northbound or southbound? Do we want to go on the tour part on land first before the cruise or after the cruise? Is there any lodge that really sticks out to somebody that they really want to go to? Because if that's the case, we'll make sure that you select the right cruise tour that definitely goes to that lodge. Do you want to see Denali? If you want to see Denali, the only way to do that with Princess is going through our cruise tours versus just a cruise. So here are some tips for choosing if you want to go on a cruise tour,
Excellent.
and then which cruise tour.
These are great qualifying questions, right? I got to
Yeah.
tell you, I love this
Yeah.
slide. I love this slide because I'm looking at it through not just the prism of our travel partners, but as a consumer, right? Because
Mhm.
Yes.
it could be overwhelming. This is an
Yes.
overwhelming destination. There is so
Oh,
much to
Yes.
do. How do I maximize? And these qualifying questions, first and foremost, I love it. How much time do you have to spend, right? Because we can curate it. We said Alaska's a destination we can go time and time again. So, I
mhm.
mean, we can fit it in this summer. I'm thinking this summer without the kids, just so you all know. And then the next one. Sorry, just had to. It's all about me. Did you not know that, Mary? And my like appliances. Okay, fabulous.
Fantastic. And so to help you, be able to see Alaska, there are a couple of different offers we have out there. We can also provide a few more, maybe later after the webinar, to share, some of the promotions that we have going on. But this one specifically is more geared towards our longer cruise tours, so 12 nights or more. It is combinable, and there is an option for somebody to choose $250 off the fare discount per guest, or do $300 onboard credit per guest. And then I want to talk quickly. I don't know how we're doing on time here, but
Let's
I do
do
want to
it.
talk
Yes.
quickly for
Yeah.
2025. So
Someone
we
asked
have
about this
three.
one earlier.
What was that?
Someone asked about this one earlier.
Oh, really? Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So we have 3 longer cruise tours in 2025. So not this year, but next year. This one is a 17-day Ultimate Alaska with Glacier Bay. You will be able to see a few ports we typically don't stop at. So you're able to design it with seeing Valdez, which is absolutely gorgeous, as well as Wrangell. And then Sitka as well. And there's a few other ports in this mix, or in this cruise, that you would find more interesting or slightly different than maybe what we typically offer.
Carrie Olson says she's booked for this one.
Oh,
In a
Wow.
balcony,
awesome,
of
Carrie.
course. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is
17
great.
days.
On the
Marsha,
Grand
can I get
Princess.
off for 17 days, please? Mother, may I, please? That would be incredible.
And you were saying 17 days, Carmen, but you might as well ask for the 22 days.
Go
Oh,
for the
So
gusto.
so this one has 11 ports to call, 4 days of glacier viewing. So if you're really into glaciers, this is absolutely the
Wow.
cruise for you.
spectacular.
What I love about this one is actually going, or will be cruising when the summer solstice happens. So that's the longest day of the year. You will
Mhm.
experience the most daylight in Alaska during this time. So definitely keep this one
And
in
it's
mind.
round trip San Francisco.
You know what
Yes,
I
it
was going to say, Marsha? You know what I was going to
is.
say? It's not just 22 days, it turns into a 25-day vacation because I'm going to have to do Napa before and Sonoma at
Yeah.
least 1 or 2
Yeah.
days. So I'm taking 25 days off, people, and you don't even know it. Awesome. That's
At least
spectacular.
we know where you'll be, Carmen.
Oh, yeah. Trust me. Awesome. Great Wi Fi. I can get connected. I can still work from on board. Just saying.
Yep.
There you go. And then this one is our 16-day Inside Passage cruise. It's our third one that I wanted to chat through. It is round trip from LA. So I know this is one location that folks keep asking us about, if we can go
This
out
is
of
the
LA.
one.
This
Mary,
is
this
near
is
and dear to my heart
Marsha has been
because
politicking for this since I got here
so
2 years ago.
many people. So we had this before the pause, and then we unfortunately couldn't go because everything that happened. But it sold out, and it sold so well that they added a second one. That's how popular it was. And then we couldn't go, and it broke all of our hearts. But now it is back, and I want all of my people that asked me about this, because there were a lot of you, to make sure you get booked on this voyage because you asked for it, and we finally got it. And
You
I'm
got
Woohoo!
it.
so
And if you
excited.
sell it out, you'll get it again. That's normally how it works here.
Exactly.
Okay. I
Yep,
love
yep.
it. No pressure.
Round trip
No
LA,
pressure.
Alaska.
Beautiful.
Gave me chills.
So to bring the story back to 2024, we do have this awesome cruise from San Fran, round trip, 11-day Inside Passage. This one has a couple more sea days in there, but it's a great experience. You still get to see inside, Inside Passage, obviously. So come visit me if you can. And then it does include Prince Rupert, Sitka, or Haines, just kind of depending on which voyage you select. So want to give this cruise a little bit of love.
Beautiful too. And if you think of round trip San Fran, look at that shot of Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, that is just there are very few embarkation ports that can take your breath away. That happens to be one of them. Gorgeous. Same thing like New York. Absolutely beautiful.
Mhm. Yes, very
One more,
stunning.
another question, Mary.
Mhm.
Someone, where is it? Cindy Fraser wants to know, can you tell us more about Icy Strait Point?
Yes. So crazy enough, on a personal level, my husband and I will take our tiny little boat and we'll actually go over to Huna. So
Mhm.
Huna is right here and Icy Strait Point is right here. They are connected, obviously, land-wise. So Icy Strait Point, it's beautiful. There is a zip line, which is you can see it from the water. And then I what I've heard, I've never done it before, but I've heard the
Uh-huh.
views from the zip line are incredible, absolutely incredible. I believe there's different shops there. It's not as it's not as developed as
Hmm.
maybe Juneau or Ketchikan, some of the other bigger ports, but it is
Hmm.
in a very great location because when you look at the map, if you kind of look diagonal, that's actually Glacier Bay. So
Okay.
it's in a very strategic location. There's some things to do there. A couple of different restaurants there that I've heard great reviews about. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. I'm happy to dive deeper into detail as
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
fantastic. Beautiful.
Awesome. So, kind of finishing up here, we always get the question, when's the best time to go? So, the Alaska season is fairly short. It feels very, very quick when you're up here. But we've created just a quick slide that shows you if you're looking for whales or orcas, or if you're looking to see bears or go fishing, this is the best time of year to do so. The one thing I'd highlight here is a lot of things in Alaska, they follow the salmon season. So there are 5 different salmon. The salmon runs kind of change year over year. They're generally speaking in the same time frame, but there's not like a specific day where the Chinooks show up, right? So when the king salmon start to run, typically you start to see orcas. Then some of the other salmon runs will come in, and that's when you start to see bears. The fishing season, there's a lot of information out there about when you can catch things, different types of salmon, when the salmon runs are, etc. So I would say this slide does a great job of just quick snapshot. This is
Excellent.
when's the best time to go, but then also just really think about when the salmon runs are coming up.
What are the little yellow stars? Can I ask? Because I'm going in May. That's why I'm curious.
So this is when they're most prevalent.
Ooh,
Yes, so
okay.
bears. Bears are coming. And if you're going on a cruise only, bears typically start to eat salt grass along the like along the water
Beautiful.
itself. So keep your eyes open, Carmen.
Will do. Are you
Yeah.
kidding? Wow.
And
Awesome. And
so
by the way, that's a great chart because it really does, again, with the qualifying questions, best time to
Hmm.
go. This is a
yep.
great reference sheet, not just for our travel advisor, but even for our
Mhm.
guests. Maybe they've done it
Yes.
before and they want to do something different and they've missed something. Northern Lights, I hear this all
We
the
get
time.
lots
Those
of
aren't
questions. Yes.
guaranteed, right? They're not
Yes.
Yes.
guaranteed. But if you're going to go, I'm looking at September is the time, right?
Hmm.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Okay. Phenomenal. Got a
Correct.
little bit of everything. Fantastic. And then, of course, our Alaska brochures, this is critical because you need it, right? So I want to make sure
Yep.
that we go to that particular oh, did I miss that? Helpful tips.
There we
There we
go.
go. There you go. Awesome. So there's a QR code, really important. I want to thank Joe, his team, the marketing team, really, because it really allows us not just, and by the way, we got space in 24. So we did this dual 24, 25, so that everybody knows we've got theirs, right? The
Yes.
lodges, the rail service, it gives you everything you need. Obviously, for our travel partners to order them on princess.com or obviously order on onesourcecruises.com, which is critical. Number one cruise line in Alaska, really critical. If you're going to do this, this is an investment, right? That's how I look at it.
Yes.
You have people who collect things. If you're going to be a collector, collect the best.
Yes. So I'm
Life's
going
too
to
short.
answer one more question here. Lori Hawkins
Tell
wants
me.
to know why only one sailing out of LA? And that is because it's a long trip.
It is a
So it
long.
requires a lot of time in order to do that Alaska trip. And so we want you to sell that one out. And if that sells out, we've seen in the past that they give us more. So sell this one out and then we'll see if we can add.
And that would be a huge, huge kudos to Marsha because she was pushing for this very, very hard. Because of course she
Yeah.
talks about the pause, the coma, whatever you want to call it. It's so in my
Yeah.
rearview mirror. I don't even know what to call it anymore. Okay, just saying. But at the end of the day, it's really critical because it is a long ways to go from LA, right? I mean, you think about we do a
Yes.
lot of San Francisco, we do a lot of Seattle. We do a lot of Vancouver. There's a reason why, right? Whether it's north,
Yes.
southbound, it's so that you can get into the immersion of it. But we also are understanding there are folks that don't want to fly. So to do this
Hmm.
round trip LA, if you have clients, that thing should be sold out after this webinar. I'm serious. I'd be
Yes.
doing dialing for dollars, saying, listen, I know you don't want to fly anymore. And by the way, this company started in California, right? In
Yes, we
LA,
did.
Century City.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have great loyalists in that, forget the state, in that city. That is a
Yes.
great cruise to promote. And then for our travel partners, because I get this all the time, one of the other awards we won at Travel Weekly's Reader's Choice Awards came from our travel partners that we have the best academy, bar none. The
Yes.
Princess Academy is award winning for a reason. It is really in depth. It allows you to take it at your pace. In other words, you can pick up where you left off because we know time, and the phones are ringing off the hook, right? You're doing so great.
Yes.
Cruises are back. They're back better than ever. Really awesome. So I want to make sure
Yeah.
everybody ensures they become an Alaska expert. Not to mention that if you take all of the modules, right, you can become a Commodore with us. Our academy is by far the very, very best. So how do you become an expert? Really selling the very best, and that's us. So excited about that. Anything you want to add on that, Marcia? Because it's a collector.
No. Nope.
It's
And
Cruise Tours
Alaska experts.
101.
I am getting a lot of questions because Alaska is very popular. It's back. There's a lot of advisors selling Alaska possibly for the first time. So this is the key to becoming an expert really quickly. We are the best in Alaska, and we've provided the best training for you to learn and become an expert in Alaska. I highly
And
recommend it.
and demystify it. That's how I look at it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Demystify. I know there's a lot of components. Mary, you did an amazing job of really giving us the
Thank
core,
you.
right, of what we need to do, which is critical. Okay, so Mary's going to stick around just in case anybody comes up with any more questions, right? But I want to just kind of go on to as
Please.
we wrap up the webinar, right, with some of the updates, reminders of what we do have going in market and what you can expect, right? So cancellation policy changes. This is great because one of the things about our webinars, and I'm sure our loyal consumers, our beautiful guests have missed this, um, having this inside scoop. I always love insider insights and inside scoops when we do the webinar. So folks are prepped. Same thing with our amazing travel partners that we do our newsletters. So
Yes.
effective with new bookings. Okay. So not anything that's already existing. I'm really critical. We've done this dance before, haven't we, Marcia, last year? We
Yes.
don't want to disrupt anything. We don't want to upset anybody. We love you. We want to feel your love and you want to feel ours. So we really want to make everything, when we make these changes, we listen to your feedback. So this is effective with new bookings made on or after
Yes.
March 4th. So we're giving you plenty of time. Our 100% cancellation fee policy will shift to 30 days prior to sale date, right? The current
Yes.
policy, I always love to talk to folks because they always say, well, what do you mean it's shifting? What was it? It was 14 days prior to sale date, right? That will be discontinued. All existing bookings will follow the outgoing policy. So no change. But really, what it does, everybody asks, why do you make these policy changes? Really, it simplifies our policies as there will only now be two cancellation schedules shown. And you'll see them
Yes.
right there. So I'm giving it time. And it's important to note that for voyages of 5 days or less, they will now have a final payment due date of 90 days before rather than 75 days. Okay. New group contracts will be set up with this new policy effective March 4th of 24, giving you plenty of time for our amazing travel advisors, and existing group contracts will remain under our current cancellation policy. And in addition, any new group contracts will have a 90-day group amenity recall date. That's really critical. Why? If you didn't hear it, cruising's back, folks. Right? When I saw that we had a 14-day policy, are you kidding me? That's insane. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of pent up desire. I don't want to call it demand, pent up desire. We have many more shorter cruise voyages that we're offering. I just got off the 4 day, which was super, super sold out. Believe me, you, it was super popular. And there's a great need for it. So it's just our way. We're running a business here. Got to be very honest. We're
Yep.
running a business and it's a for profit business. So we really have
Yep.
to review all of our policies. They can't just stay frozen in time from the
Mhm.
way the world used to be, where the world is now. So I wanted to make sure we gave you plenty of time, ample time. All of this effective March 4th. So you have plenty of time now. If you have any last minute bookings you want to make or group bookings that you want to make, now's the time because then we will change this effective March 4th. Big policy change.
Can
Then I
can
want
I
to talk about
add
special
something?
offer.
Can I
Add
add
anything
something
you
to that?
want. And
I
then
want
hold
to
that
add,
slide on 25. Hold it. Don't move that.
sure.
Go.
I want to add a clarification for groups because I've actually already been getting these questions.
Mhm.
So I had the privilege of talking with the team that were making these decisions before we made them. And like Carmen said, we made every effort to try and make this simple. So, what Carmen said about the groups, if you've opened your group prior to March 4th, all of your bookings that you make in that group with the group rate are going to have the original cancel policies. And each of your bookings will have a booking confirmation that tells you what those cancellation policies are. So if you ever wonder, make sure you're looking at the booking confirmation, and that's going to be your holy grail to what are the cancellation policies for this specific booking. If you book outside of the group, it's going to be the new cancellation policies as of March 4th. But if you have a group space, you can rest assured your group is going to have all the same cancel policies.
Phenomenal. Thank you. I really
Okay.
appreciate that, Marcia. So we
Yeah.
want to make sure you got that insider scoop. Also, I want you to know some changes for 25. So we're in the midst of 25 World Cruise. I think you all know we made some changes in the 24 World Cruise. We had to,
Yes.
you know, geopolitical reasons. Simply, we're not the only one.
Yeah.
But for our 25 World Cruise, which is pretty exciting because it's either 101 or 116 days, depending on where you start, 27 countries, 51 destinations. So for a limited time, the special offers, if you book the full World Cruise, you will get Princess Premier with the cruise fare. That is more than a 65% savings. This is really incredible. And so this is hot off the press, offer expiring March 31st. Okay, so think about two
Yeah.
round trip options, whether it's LAX or Fort Lauderdale. Again, love the idea of round trip because of the airlifts, right?
Hmm.
So makes it much more affordable. And then I love the fares from $155 per person per day. Go back to that, please, Joe, because we don't really do this enough, and we really need to look at, and that's why we were broken out. If you take this, the
Yes.
fares are from, I mean, I can't afford to stay home for $155. I really can't. I mean,
You're not going
seriously,
to get a
this
hotel
weekend,
room for that.
well, forget a hotel room. And by the way, a hotel room, hello, just Miami, because one of them happens to be Fort Lauderdale round trip.
Yeah.
Hotel rooms are $500-$600. That doesn't even include
Yeah.
peanuts, let
Yeah.
alone anything else, right? I mean, it's insane when you realize what a value this is. So this is on islands, so it's one of our smaller vessels. But the more important part is everybody has, and you just have to think about it. Does anybody have a World Cruise client? Do you have a
Yes.
somebody who's got this on that life list of theirs?
Hmm.
Because what a way to travel, and including Premier. This is a no brainer. I wish I was
Hmm.
retired, not even retired. I could work from on board. Would you give me 116 days off or a few, just the weekends, whatever?
Hey,
Okay.
we can work from
Then
anywhere, Carmen.
segments. I want to talk about segments because a lot of folks say, by the way, the segments do not apply to the Princess Premier offer. That is the special offers through the end of March, but it is for folks that are doing the full world. But we're also
Yeah.
talking about segments because some of these segments, I love it. Joe calls them liners. That is such a Cunard term, liner. I call them segments, okay? And you can even do some of these back to back if you can't do the full world cruise. And then I just want to wrap up with great deals on 24 sailings because a lot of folks are saying, "Hey, what do you have available in 24? Do we Yes, we still have space." So I just want to focus on
Yes.
just three. This 10-day Southern Caribbean with Martinique. This is amazing, okay? This is May 10th on Emerald, round trip Fort Lauderdale. Again, look at the interior pricing, $69. And if you want balconies, no, I can't afford to stay home for that, okay? $99 per day. Amazing, incredible itinerary. Then you could do, if you could do more, the 16-day Western Europe. So people love this, right?
Yes.
Transatlantic, Fort Lauderdale to London. This is April 5th on Regal. Okay, I'm embarrassed to talk about these rates. There are collectors of these transatlantics that love these
Yes.
voyages. And when you look at the price per day, it's insane. I mean, this is insanity, okay? And again, Fort Lauderdale to London, great airlift from both Fort Lauderdale and London. Okay. Then the 27-day World Cruise segment here, Med in Africa, Cape Town to Rome, March 6th, Island Princess. Look at these rates, balcony interiors, some really a great deals for those of you who can get away for these. Even if you can get away for just 10 days, that incredible round trip Fort Lauderdale is a beautiful St. Thomas, St. Kitts, Martinique, Dominica, which I did. Dominica, I just did that on our New Year's. And then the next slide, continuing the South Pacific voyage. Wow. Round trip LA. Okay, so for anybody in LA, think about this 32-day South Pacific voyage is
Ooh.
gorgeous. April 5th, we still got time. So I'll tell you, I'd be on it. Round trip LA. LA rates are great, balconies from $81. And then look at that itinerary. So some folks want to do Hawaii, but they don't want to fly there, right? This is probably an
Yeah.
amazing option for you. Or we got this one's really on mine, Tahiti, Hawaii, and the South Pacific crossing. And this is Sydney to Vancouver. Oh my God, I would go before there. That's just me. I don't have
Sydney.
30
Yeah.
days, but my husband's retired. Maybe I'll send him on this without me. What do you think? He'll be so lonely. He wouldn't be able to handle it. Majestic, but look at these rates. Absolutely amazing. Look at everything you're doing. Morea, my God, I love Morea. Absolutely gorgeous. Getting a little bit of everything. I'm from Sydney. You got to go in advance, no doubt about it. And then we have the 7 day Alaska voyage of the glaciers. This is a unique one. May
It
11th
is.
on Royal. Hello, because that's earlier in the season. Absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. Great pricing. I mean, this is incredible, right? And you got
Yeah. It
six.
was on our
And can we
list
come
for
visit you in Juneau?
it,
Mary, will you do lunch with us if we sell this
Woohoo!
one out? Just saying.
Please, please.
and
If you're
remember
booked, let me know.
May was on our list
Absolutely.
for good time to see bears too.
Lions and tigers and bears and bears. Okay, we'll go quickly because we're about to have our current wave offers ending Feb 29th. At least you got another day because of leap year, right? This was the up to
Yes.
40% off with free room upgrades and free third and fourth. The next offer, Insider Insights, right here. 35% off with free third and fourth. And this runs March 1st through May 31st. Want to throw it in there. And then for our travel partners, we're going to go more in depth in the next webinar, which I believe is March 7th. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to talk about,
I'm
but
wrong.
there's a QR code. You asked for it, you got it. Seminars at sea. We had loads of them last year, okay? We'll always be escorted from 4 to 7 days. So we're giving you lots of duration, okay? Discounted price, including Princess Plus, which is really important. Make sure you register because last year we had like 2 dozen of these. This year we have like, was
Yeah.
it seven, I think?
7. We've got 7.
7, limited.
Yes.
So be patient. Things to know. You gotta be patient. The next slide will tell you because we
Yes.
will. You'll be inquiring. We'll let you know things you need to
Yes.
know. Prices per person. There's no
Yes.
single supplements. And again,
There
you
is
can
one
add.
Alaska in there too.
There is. So
Hmm.
just saying. So we are actively reviewing all of this, and then I think we're going to end with that, unless we have so many quick questions because I know we went over by a minute,
Oh,
but I did the
I
best I
I
could.
want to
You
add
take.
in for our girl Taryn on the seminars at sea. When you sign up, please be patient. So we've got one person that works diligently and really hard on these, and she's such a great person. So you guys need to be nice.
Come on,
But
she had
she
two
needs
dozen last year. She only had seven. Taryn,
she
you need
needs
to
a
step
little
it up.
time
Let's
to get
go.
to them all. So she
I'm
does them
seeing
in
things.
order, right? So if your voyage you picked is in November, you're going to wait a little bit to get a confirmation, but we'll get it out as soon as possible. Just be please be patient.
And right, Marsha, because you're kinder and gentler than I am. I'm thinking, Taryn, you had 24 last year. You only got 7. You should be able to do this in your sleep, for goodness sake. Just joking. Watch Taryn hurt me. In March, the March 7th one, we will talk about those seminars at sea, like a little more in depth, giving you the voyage dates.
Yes.
But we'll also talk about our love fests. Our love fest are
Yes.
launching because Mary, if you didn't
Coming
hear at the
soon.
beginning of it, we're about love, but not love one
Yeah.
day a year, February 14th, or the whole month. We're love all year. So we launch our Love Fest in March by design. So looking forward to, and then we'll have more information about our beautiful Sun Princess too. Super
Yes. Yes.
excited to
Yes.
see
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Any
We got
questions?
a
I think we
couple.
could take a couple. Let's
Yeah,
do
I
it.
think so. We're a little over, but let's answer some.
When
You want
aren't
to
we?
read, Carmen, or you want me to read them?
Are there some social media promotional videos of the Katmai cruise tour that we can share? I think so. The one we showed, can we share that one on
We
social?
should we should be able to share that. Yeah, let me do a quick double check and then we'll get it out to you if we can.
Yeah,
Fantastic. I
we'll put
always
it
say
on
yes. Sorry.
one source, and we can also post it to Carmen's Facebook.
Ooh, I love it.
Cover my face
Yeah.
with it. That's probably better. That way they'll pay attention. What other question? We'll take another one. Can you please go over the luggage for the cruise tour? One for land and one for cruise, and the tags and options. That's complex. That's a
Mm,
good one. Oi,
this
so
is
do you
a
do
good
two
one.
bags?
Yep, exactly. So typically speaking, you'll have luggage tags for luggage that you'll have on your ship, and then one tag for luggage that you'll use on land. So this could get pretty complex in terms of the response, but we do make sure that every aspect of your trip is taken care of, luggage included.
So I have
Fabulous.
heard that
That's
this is
seamless.
part of our magic, that
It is,
like your
Matt.
bag just shows up in the lodge for you. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Correct.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Excellent. So I think, okay, we're good. No, unless there's any other questions, I want to thank you, Mary. That was phenomenal. And of course, this is recorded, folks. So, it's going to be on our site, which is great. Thanks for attending. I can't even begin to tell you. And welcome back to our amazing guests, our loyalists that are with us. Thank you. We hear your feedback. We really do. So once a month, we'll have a webinar that's tailored, not just to our travel advisors who are so amazing, but also you, because you are too, and you're very, very critical to our success. So everybody have an amazing, amazing selling week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mary. I'll be seeing you in Juno,
Thank
so
you,
I'm going to look you
Mary.
up.
Woohoo!
I'm a bit of a
Thank you.
stalker. I'll be there in May, just so you know. Sending you an email right now. Have a great one,
Thanks,
everybody. Thanks,
everybody.
Marcia. Thanks, Joe, Christine,
Thank you.
Steph, the entire team. Mwah.